Kick-ass! Red mist! Oh, that kinda hurt!
We're lucky that these previews weren't accurate representations of the quality of their movies.
Oh yeah! Didn't see that, did ya?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 good movies with bad trailers.
Things that need changing before we all go off the end of the road.
For this list, we're looking at generally well-received or successful movies that had pre-release trailers that either badly represented the finished films, or were just poorly put together previews of them.
Where are you going?
I'm going to pick a fight.
Well, we didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Number 10. Strange Days.
Have you ever jacked in? Have you ever wire tripped?
Before Kathryn Bigelow was winning Academy Awards, she was a cult phenomenon making films like this gritty sci-fi thriller starring Ralph Fiennes.
I'm your priest. I'm your shrink. I am your main connection to the switchboard of the souls.
Unfortunately, the movie's premise, involving conspiracies and futuristic mind devices, proved to be a little too dense for an almost 3-minute trailer.
Straight from the cerebral cortex.
What resulted was this flashy but completely confusing piece of marketing.
Cheer up, we're all gonna end in 10 minutes anyway.
It tries to explain the basics of the plot, but doesn't really accomplish much besides showing some random images and blaring a techno tune in the background. Well, at least we were able to get our first look at Ralph Fiennes' amazing hair.
Why me?
Number 9. Braveheart.
In a land of timeless beauty, William Wallace was a man of peace.
I want to stay here with you.
And I with you.
Trailers in the 90s relied on tried and true tropes, specifically voiceover work and montages of big scenes.
He was driven to war.
Go back to England and tell them there that Scotland's daughters and her sons are yours no more.
Of course, these devices could be used the wrong way, as evidenced in the trailer for this epic historical drama. In it, a glimpse of the life of Scottish warrior William Wallace is given an extra helping of cheese with a voiceover that hammers home what we're already seeing on screen.
We can't beat an army. We can't! And we will!
Clips that make the film look silly and corny. Not the best way to present an epic that eventually won Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Mel Gibson. Braveheart.
Number 8. Hellboy.
Watch your hands and elbows.
Pardon?
So, we get that Guillermo del Toro may be off-putting and weird to some people, but did whoever cut this trailer really have to sideline the title character of the movie?
There are things that go bump in the night, Agent Myers. And we are the ones who bump back.
The first trailer only features short glimpses of Ron Perlman's benevolent demon, instead choosing to focus on John Myers, played by Rupert Evans. This, combined with a focus on concepts like the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense, make the movie seem like a lame Men in Black ripoff.
Oh well, let me go in and say hi.
Thankfully, that didn't stop people from experiencing the weird gothic wonder and action of Del Toro's film.
How big can it be?
Number 7. The Abyss.
Director James Cameron thrilled audiences with his vision of the future, The Terminator.
After James Cameron hit it out of the park with his 2 previous feature films, expectations were high for this directorial effort.
In 1986, he created the science fiction masterpiece, Aliens.
An epic sci-fi adventure showcasing state-of-the-art effects for the time. It was somewhat overlooked in 1989. We've come to believe that was because of the first trailer, which had all the excitement of staring at a cheap aquarium display for almost a minute and a half. The clip explains next to nothing about the film apart from the underwater setting, and definitely could have benefited from the addition of scenes showing the abyss's heart-pounding action. Number 6. The Cabin in the Woods.
Everybody ready?
This Joss Whedon horror romp is so creative and outlandish that we're actually glad the trailer doesn't spoil the film's many twists. Unfortunately, the safe nature of the trailer does have its drawbacks.
Whoa, no way.
By trying to hide the big reveals, the trailer makes The Cabin in the Woods look like a generic, unremarkable slasher film from the 70s. And there's no way that would fly in 2012. checking off most horror cliché boxes like the titular cabin and the characters splitting up.
Yeah, good idea.
Really?
The trailer presents the movie as a boring, standard piece of schlock, rather than the smart, subversive thriller it is. Number 5. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Hello, I'm Howard Mirziak, founder and president of Lacuna Incorporated. Why remember a destructive love affair? Here at Lacuna, we have perfected a safe, effective technique for the focused erasure of troubling memories.
Considering how bizarre they are, the films written by Charlie Kaufman usually get decent representation in their trailers. Not this 2004 film, for which Kaufman won an Academy Award. It begins promisingly with a fake infomercial, but changes into something more traditional.
Is there any risk of brain damage?
It's on a par with a night of heavy drinking. Nothing you'll miss.
The way the clips are cut and the trailer's choice of music makes Eternal Sunshine look like a fast-paced, by-the-numbers rom-com.
Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. It stopped raining. Everybody's in the light.
In reality, it's anything but. Yeah, it is about a relationship, but you probably won't find a romance darker, smarter, or weirder than this one. It's a real shame that the trailer misrepresents that.
Can you hear me? I don't want this anymore. I want to call it off.
Number 4. Minority Report.
There hasn't been a murder in 6 years. There's nothing wrong with the system. It is perfect. I agree.
Once again, we come across an instance of too much plot, too little time.
Tell me exactly what it is you're looking for.
Flaws. You ever get any false positives?
This Steven Spielberg directed, Tom Cruise starring adaptation of a Philip K. Dick story deals with free will versus determinism, while also managing to be a heart-pounding action movie. Unfortunately, the trailer focuses on the latter half of the equation, and not very well, we might add.
Who's the victim? I've never heard of him, but I'm supposed to kill him in less than 36 hours.
The major plot points aren't adequately conveyed, and the way the action is cut makes it seem very disjointed and cheap-looking. Luckily, it didn't stop the film from being one of the best offerings from both director and star.
You can't run, John.
You don't have to chase me.
Number 3. Rear Window.
The screen's master of suspense, the producer-director who shocked the world with Psycho.
It may be one of the greatest suspense thrillers of all time, but you wouldn't know that from this trailer.
This is the apartment of a man named Jeffries, a news photographer whose beat used to be the world. Right now, his world has shrunk down to the size of this window.
In fact, it advertises Hitchcock's masterpiece as some sort of bland romance, where James Stewart's window watching is treated as a subplot instead of the main concept. It doesn't help that it features voiceover explaining everything Stewart is looking at. For example, who's that woman down there?
An artist of a very odd and strange art.
Oh, got it. Thanks, disembodied voice. Trailers from the golden age of Hollywood were often like this, but this one seems to go out of its way to misrepresent the film.
Those are just a few of my neighbors. First, I watched them just to kill time, but then I couldn't take my eyes off them, just as you won't be able to.
And you won't be able to take your eyes off the glowing beauty of Grace Kelly, who shares the heart and curiosity of James Stewart in this story of a romance shadowed by the terror of a horrifying secret.
Number 2. Gattaca.
Genetics. What can it mean? The ability to perfect the physical and mental characteristics of every unborn child.
Speaking of complicated plots, try fitting themes of eugenics, destiny, and Ethan Hawke into a 2.5-minute time span.
In the not-too-distant future, our DNA will determine everything about us.
Andrew Niccol's underrated sci-fi film is a wonder when you actually take the time to watch it, but it doesn't work well when condensed for the limits of a trailer.
One man's only chance.
How do you expect to pull this off? I don't know exactly.
Cheesy voiceover work reigns supreme here, leaving almost no room for the plot and actors to shine through. The parts of the plot that manage to get out are complicated and messy to boot, which probably didn't persuade audiences to go and see it in theaters.
Welcome to Gattaca.
Before we reveal our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
This winter, when you go looking for adventure, be prepared to find more than you ever imagined.
The invasion will fail, along with every soldier you are sending. We lose everything.
You want to go fight some crime?
Let's see what you can do.
This guy comes out of nowhere.
This would be the guy that looks like Batman.
And tell me one guy killed 8 of my men tonight?
Number 1. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now.
It's been well documented that 20th Century Fox didn't really believe in George Lucas's science movie, and that lack of faith shines through in the first teaser for the film.
The man who brought you American graffiti now bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet.
There's just so much to marvel at. There's the deep, somewhat threatening voiceover, and the stock music that shows what a contribution John Williams made to the finished product. Plus, there are unfinished effect shots that showcase colorless lightsabers and blasters that don't actually shoot anything. Oh, and a lack of almost anything story-related.
And aliens from 1,000 worlds.
It's pretty much a miracle that the film became the success that it did.
Star Wars, 1 billion years in the making, and it's coming to your galaxy this summer.
Do you agree with our list? What good movies do you think had bad trailers? For more good top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe.